Hello everyone. Today we will study the second chapter from Political Science of class 9, that is the Union Government. In this lesson we will cover the topics the Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, their structure, membership, qualification and functions. Next it is the election of president, qualifications to become president. Lastly, the Prime Minister and his functions. Let's start with the chapter. We have learned in the previous lesson that India is a sovereign, socialistic, secular, democratic republic. England and France have unitary system of government. India, like the United States of America, had a federal system of government. That means there is a union government at the center and the state government in the states. It is called as federal government. India is a union of states. The power of the nation divided between the center and the state. However, central government has given more powers in view of the unity and security of the nation during emergencies. It exercises these powers through legislature, executive and judiciary. On the screen, as you can see on the screen, the picture of the parliament. This is also called as union legislature. Now we will see Union Legislature in detail. Union Legislature is also known as Parliament. India has adopted the parliamentary system of government and the Union Legislature is called Parliament. Article 79 provides for the creation of Parliament. The Parliament consisted of two houses. The upper house is called Rajya Sabha and the lower house is called Lok Sabha. Now, first we will see about Rajya Sabha. The numbers of seats in Rajya Sabha is 250, of which 238 members are elected by the members of state assemblies and union territories, and the remaining 12 members who are experts from various fields like literature, art, science, and social work are nominated by the President. This house is also known as the House of Elders. Now we will see the term of office. Here the Rajya Sabha is a permanent body and is not dissolved like the Lok Sabha. Dissolve means terminate. But the term of the members is 6 years. 1/3 of its members retired on the completion of 6-year term every second year. In their place, new members are elected. If the members do not wish to continue, they may resign. Now we will see what are the qualifications to become the member of Rajya Sabha. In that, the first point should be a citizen of India, should not be less than 30 years of age, should not have been punished under law, should not have been declared to be a person of unsound mind by court of law, should possess the qualifications specified from time to time by the Parliament. The Vice President is the Chairman of Rajya Sabha. Here, at present, the Vice President of India is Venkaiah Naidu. The Deputy Chairman is chosen from among the members. At least 10% of the members should be present during the sessions of the Rajya Sabha. Sessions means meetings. The House should meet at least twice in a year. Now after the Rajya Sabha, we will deal with Lok Sabha. The members of Lok Sabha are elected directly by the people. So, it is known as House of People. The maximum number of seats is 545, in which 543 members are directly elected by the people, whereas 2 Anglo-Indians are nominated by the President. 79 seats are reserved for scheduled castes and 41 are reserved for scheduled tribes. Now here we will see the term of office. The Lok Sabha members are elected for a term of 5 years. However, on the recommendation of Prime Minister, the President may dissolve the Lok Sabha. During the emergencies, the term may be extended for 1 year. Now we will see the qualification of the members. Firstly, should be a citizen of India. Must not be less than 25 years of age, should not be hold any office of profit under the government, should not be a person of unsound mind, should not have been punished under law, and should possess qualifications specified by Parliament from time to time. Now we will see the Lok Sabha Speaker. The members elected from among themselves a Speaker and a Deputy Speaker. The Speaker has impartially conduct the proceeding of the House. Here at present the Speaker of Lok Sabha is Om Birla, and here he should maintain the dignity and decorum of the House. Here decorum means polite behavior. The Speaker gives his ruling whenever there are questions about validity of the proceedings according to the protocol. Protocol means a system of fixed rules used in an official meeting. It is called as protocol. All including the Prime Minister are expected to respect the Speaker of the House. When will get equal number of votes for against them, the Speaker casts the deciding vote. The Deputy Speaker conducts the proceeding in the absence of Speaker. Now next we will see role and works of opposition leader. Here as two parties are there, that majority, those who win the elections and make a government, they are called as the ruling party, and another one, those who got the second majority of votes, this party is called as opposition party. Now we will see what are the role and work of opposition leader. Highlighting the wrongdoing of the ruling government, examine the policies of the government thoroughly, keep the government, council of ministers and officials alert, has a respectable position in the legislature. Next we will see the powers and the functions of Parliament. The first one is legislative powers. The main function of the Parliament is to make laws. It can frame laws on subjects mentioned in the central list. The financial bill is presented only in the Lok Sabha. The other bills can be presented in either house, but the bills become laws only after proper discussion and approval by both the houses. When there is a disagreement between the houses regarding a bill, the President may call for a joint session of the Parliament and resolve the matter. After both the houses passes the bill, it is forwarded to the President for his approval, after which it became law. Now next it is second power, administrative power. In a parliamentary system of government, the Prime Minister and his Council of Ministers form the executive. The Union Cabinet is accountable to the Parliament. The members of the Parliament ask the questions which must be answered by the ministers. The Council of Ministers can be power only as long as they enjoy the trust of Parliament. Parliament has control over executive. Now the third it is financial power. Lok Sabha exercises total control over the financial matters of the country. The government cannot levy any tax or spend any money without the approval of Lok Sabha. Here levy means to impose. The financial bill must be first introduced in the Lok Sabha. After being passed by Lok Sabha, the bill goes to Rajya Sabha for discussion. The Rajya Sabha can give certain suggestions and direction and also delay its consent. Consent means permission or agreement. The bill for the 14 days. If it does not give its contents to the bill within 14 days, it is taken for granted that the Rajya Sabha has approved it. It is then sent to the President for his approval. The next power is judicial power. Both the houses of the Parliament have the authority to remove the judges of the Supreme Court and the High Court through a motion of impeachment. Here we will see what is the meaning of impeachment. Motion of impeachment means is used to bring an accusation against a person. A majority vote is needed to put that accused on trial. It is called as motion of impeachment. They also have the power to discuss the finding of the reports related to the judiciary. These all the powers related to judicial. Now next it is power to amend constitution. Amend means change in law. It is called as amend. Both the houses of the parliament have equal power to amend the constitution. The amendment bill can be presented first in either house. However, the approval of both the houses is required for the amendment. If only one house approves for the amendment and the other does not, then the amendment cannot be carried out. In some cases, the approval of the state assemblies is also essential. Now next we will see what are the other powers of parliament. In that, to frame the laws relating to the powers and justifications of the Supreme Court and High Court, to establish one High Court for two or more states, to create new states, rename them, or to determine the boundaries of the states, to discuss the report of committees like the Public Service Commission, Finance Commission, Election Commission, Backward Classes Commission, etc., to approve the declaration of emergencies like the national emergency, state emergency, and financial emergency. We will see what is national emergency. When there is a threat to the security of any area in the country or the whole of it through external attack or internal disturbance, this kind of emergency can be declared. Now the second is state emergency based on the report of governor of the state, or if the state government for any reason cannot function according to the principles of the constitution, that time the president can declare state emergency. Third, it is financial emergency. This kind of emergency can be declared if it is felt that the financial situation in the country is deteriorated. However, it has not been declared till now. Here with this, we have completed the powers and functions of Parliament. In our next video, we will deal with the Union Legislature. If you are having any doubt, you can ask in the comment section. Thank you.